Hi everyone. So as you can see, there is a huge amount of grains because I have just decreased the value of camera AA as it is taking very much amount of time. So I just put it only 3. So you can increase this, but it will really takes few hours to render a particular image. So I just decrease this because what is camera AA and diffuse specular and all. You can increase the value and it will take time. So for this only for multipass rendering I just put it the value which is lower, as you can see, and will render the same. So as you can see, we have just rendered this, and you can have all the things like gain gamma here, which is also present here. You can just increase or decrease according to your need. If you want to put some gain and gamma on your scene, you can go to file and save image. So now I will just make a new folder, and will rename this multipass rendering, and we'll open this. We'll just give beauty pass or even diffuse, and okay, so jpg, save. Now we have saved the image, and what I will do, I will just go to the this one render settings and just create a new layer. We'll rename this ambient occlusion AO, and now for ambient occlusion I just need only this model. And what I will do, as you can see, we have already used textures and all, not textures but the shader, and just can change the color of the shader, and also the shader is little bit of shyness, and also we have just used this mesh light here. So we'll override this. So what I will do, right click, uh, create collection, and after that right click. Here you have the create material override, but at first we'll just add the models. As you can see, we have added the models. So we'll create material override, and in material override, when you just create the material override, you found this thing. So just click over here in Arnold, in shader, in surface, which is present inside the Arnold shader and surface. You have AI ambient occlusion. So I just put it the ambient occlusion. So as you can see, okay, now we'll just click this on. As you can see, it's just applied on your scene, but still we have this light which is, I think, which is applied here. We'll just open this. Here is the table bulb, and here is the light. So now, so as you can see, if I go to beauty and just on the eye, you will find the color of the beauty which we have did it. And if I go to AO and just open the eye, you find the color of the AO which we have did it. So like this way you can just um, put some layers and all. And after that, what I will do, I will just go to the uh, this particular view, which is camera 1, which is by default set, and we'll just render this image. As you can see, it's rendering, and also the value, you can play with the ambient occlusion value and all. It will automatic update all the things inside your scene. So like this way you can add some values, and also you can work with them. And also we have this panels which is kept at the top, so you can also do it well. You have all the freedoms. So as you can see, the ambient occlusion render has done, and also we have this panel. You can increase this if you need more intensity and brightness and contrast. So you can increase this according to your need, and I will just save this file. So AO would be fine, and JPG, okay. So multipass rendering, save. So what I will do, I will just create a new layer and just put it the bounciness pass, bounce, and also the glossiness. So here we have the create collection, and after that what I will do now, I will just go to this pass and at first go to beauty and just select the bedroom and AI sky. Oh, one more thing we have to do, just click here, and I think we have just deleted that part, so the light part. So what I will do, go to the perspective, select this part and go to the light bulb, so mesh light, and after that we'll increase the exposure and also the intensity by 2. So let's have a look. One more thing we have to do, we'll just go to the bounce glossy and we'll select all the parts equally, and after that we'll just add it, and after for a while what we will do, we'll just go to right click and we'll go to material override, and in material override we'll go to Arnold shader surface. So here we have all the things. So right now what I will use, I will just use this standard surface which will have only one color, as you can see, which have only one color. So right now what happens if I just increase the metalness, as you can see it's getting quite dull and we don't require the roughness. So an isotrope, little bit of it. Okay, so now I will just render it. Let's have a look. So as you can see, we have rendered this bounce and glossiness pass, and as you can see it's have all the reflection and light is bouncing, so it's also producing some amount of reflection over here, and this shadow basically here and here. So you can see the shadow which is generating from here is quite just having casting over here, and light is also bouncing in the wall, and it's also in low quality render because we have decreased the value of camera AA so that it will just fast the process of rendering. And we'll go to file and save image and just save this glossy and bounciness. Okay, so we have one more render that's not important, but you can do it well, you know, if you know the process. We have one more render which is the wireframe render. So select all the things and we'll go to the settings again and make a new. So you can just off this all of them and click over here, right click, create collection and add all the things. So after that we'll rename this wireframe, and what else we have to do, just go to the create material override and click here and just go to the Arnold shader surface, and here you have the AI wireframe. As you can see, when we'll go to the panel perspective camera and just render for a test, you can see all the things is in wireframe. So this render is we don't need it, but yeah, you can do it, you know the process, you can do it. So I will save this. So now as you can see we have rendered all the images one by one, and with this image you can also go to your compositing software and do the multipass compositing. So we will discuss the multipass compositing and how you can achieve a good result in the compositing classes. Okay, so with that compositing class you may have the idea how you can just combine all the images in one and just create a particular scene from that particular images, and also it will produce a good result by combining all those images and just blend it according to the need. So let's switch to the next session. Hi everyone. So in this session we will see that how we have just imported all the images into the Photoshop, and we'll start just play around the blending modes, and we'll look at the result of this particular. Okay, so now as you can see we have just rendered all the image from the Maya 2018, and we have used this, which is the render setup, and we have just make separate layers and just put it all the information data, like the model and the light, including this particular light. So after that we have rendered separately. So as you can see here we have all the datas. This is the beauty pass, this is the ambient occlusion, this is the glossiness, and this is the wireframe. So we don't need wireframe because wireframe is basically for having information about the you can say the edges and all. So we don't need wireframe, and whenever you are importing some image into Photoshop, should rename at first. So double click beauty, and this is BAO, and this is glossiness and reflection. Okay, so as you can see you can change this texture according to your need, and also you can work with the grains and all. You can increase the camera AA to have a good result and have a smooth result. So what we are getting here, if I go to ambient occlusion on this, and we'll just go to normal, click here and just move the down arrow, as you can see your blending mode is working quite well. We have in linear burn, and you can just switch from here. And in this one, if I open this, you can go click here and just move your arrow button. You can see whole scene will change. So that's the main fundamental of blending mode. So your whole scene will change, so you can put according to your need. If I drag this, you can see that the particular part is getting dragged, Control Z. So like this way, ambient occlusion, we have just you can say uh, change the blending mode to linear burn, and here also we have changed the darker color. So like this way you have the render layers can work for the same. And after that, when it's done, make sure that you will select all of them, make a copy, right click, merge layers. So all the layers has been merged in one, and just go to filter, and I will just put surface blur, because uh, you can say that we haven't work in the grains and all. So I will just use the surface blur and will okay the same. So as you can see it's quite different. Here we have the some amount of jerkiness, but after getting blurred it will just fade outing. And so you can increase the camera AA, which is inside Maya. So just go to the settings, and you can just go to Arnold render, just increase the camera AA, so you will have a smooth result. So like this way you can work. And also you can just have different settings like levels, curves, which will allow you to do manual correct color correction, and just move it like this, and you can see that there is a huge changes. So it depends on, you can put it according to your need. And like this way you will just put the layers one by one into any of the compositing software like Photoshop, After Effects, and Nuke, Fusion, like this. Okay, Photoshop is an image based compositing software, so you can also work with the Photoshop, and After Effects, and Premiere, and you can say the Fusion is all are the video based compositing software. So you can also make videos in Photoshop, because you have the timeline. Here you can see the timeline, you can just put the timeline images here one by one, and it will just produce a complete shot of image sequence, which you can work as a video file. So like this way you can work in the Photoshop.
Hope you understand the same. Let's meet to the next session.